Hi, my name is Leslie Weber. I'm the program chair for the Occupational Therapy Assistant Program here at Western. I wanted to do this video to welcome you to our program. I'm looking forward to meeting you all in the fall when we're together for our first classes. Normally we would be doing this as our first face-to-face meeting where I would get to meet you all for the first time, but this year we're doing it a little different. I'm sure you're all getting used to that by now. So you received an email, and there was a few things in there I just wanted to go over, just a brief introduction. I think you'll be able to figure some of this out. Don't get overwhelmed by all of what we're sending you. So let me pull off my other screen. Okay, this is the first thing that you may want to look at. It's the OTA program to-do list. It gives you several tasks that you'll want to be working on before you start courses in the fall. Okay, the first thing is orientation and register for classes. This is your orientation. It's online this year. But you'll be able to register for your fall classes. You'll have a contact person that you'll be working with to do that. The second thing I want you to be sure to do is to access your email account. There are instructions in your attachments that you have that will show you how to do that. One of the attachments I wanted to highlight, I'm going to bring it over from the other screen again. Okay, it's the password change. To get into your account for the first time, this gives you instructions on how to do that. Okay, so make sure you look at that and get into your email. Lori Kramer and I, your primary instructors, will usually be contacting you by email. So get used to checking your email account or have that connected to your other account, however you want to do that, but that's where we will be contacting you primarily. Next, I suggest that you participate in all the online training that shows you how to use Blackboard and the various computer programs that you'll be using once you're here on campus. You'll want to know those well because you'll have enough of a learning curve just starting getting into classes and learning about OT. So do those classes ahead of time just to introduce yourself and get familiar with it. Next, you'll be having some requirements in terms of immunization and CPR requirements. These will be uploaded to Viewpoint, and you'll hear more about that coming up in May. This is a document that lists some of your requirements for immunizations. You'll want to be working on those and not only getting up to date, but making sure you have proof that you're up to date. You'll have to do that once this program uploads in May. You'll have to give proof of that. You don't want to have to be working on that while you're also trying to go to class. The next sheet that's attached is the CPR class offerings. You'll notice that some of them were canceled, but this is the most up-to-date that we have in terms of there are classes being offered. I would suggest also that you get this completed before you start classes. You, of course, know your schedule better than I do, but once classes start, students tend to find it more difficult to be able to get these things completed. The next thing I wanted to tell you about was this handout. Usually you would get that as a paper, but now we have an electronic copy, and this tells you how to get your textbooks. Also, as a handout, are all the wonderful student services that Western has available to you. I would encourage you to get to know these because once you're in class, you tend to spend most of your time at the Health Science Center, which is not on the Western campus. So these services are located right on the campus, and becoming familiar with them and knowing what's available is a good idea before you would need to take advantage of these. Also, here's a parking map. Here's the HSC. That's where your classes, your OT classes will be. You'll notice that we're on the tail end of the University of Wisconsin-La Crosse campus. There is a parking lot by the HSC, but you do have to pay to park. Most of this yellow, you'll have to pay to park. There are free parking spots. You'll want to check into that and have that figured out before you come the first day of class. In addition, I wanted to show you this tips for getting started. These are things that we've found over the years that help people be well prepared once they come in the fall. So here's just some suggestions. I encourage you to read that through and think about how you can prepare for some of this. Lastly is the OTA program curriculum. This is a list of all the classes that you will need to take to complete your coursework at Western for the OTA program. Some of you have most of the general education courses completed, and so I encourage you to look through some of this and see what you still have to do. All of the OT courses you will take in sequence, and you'll register for those. So in the fall, this is the semester that we'll be looking at, okay? You will register for one of the sections of activity analysis for the fall. Depending on which section you are, you will have a different schedule. So this is section 100, and you'll have activity analysis at 8 o'clock Tuesday, Thursdays. And this is how your schedule will look. If you are in section 101, you have activity analysis a little bit later, and the rest of your schedule is the same. That brings us back to the original document that we started on. And just to review, you need to register for fall courses. Once you get this email, you'll have help with that. Start accessing your email account in case Lori or I have things that we need to talk to you about or send information for you. That will happen through your email account. Complete the online readiness training. That's how to use Blackboard if it's new to you. In May, you'll start getting emails about uploading your health record requirements. That's your immunizations, your CPR. You will have to be able to have proof of what you have done. You'll want to get that done before you're in class. Before you have class, get your textbooks, and then we'll see you on September 8th this year. We will have more face-to-face meetings to give you more updated information and to meet you in person once classes start. But for now, this is how we're going to do the orientation, and you have people that you can contact, and also Lori and I will be available by email. I wish you the best of luck in our program, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all. Welcome to the OTA program.